High School for playoff football, the Section 5 Class 5A semifinals. It's the St. Louis Park Orioles taking on the top seed, the Armstrong Falcons. Falcons still undefeated. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, what a great regular season for Armstrong, capped off by an amazing overtime win, two overtime win, 57-56 over one of their arch nemesis, Andover.
Well, we did that game 2 years ago when Andover beat them pretty handily here. And so I was traveling for work, Jay, but I was following that game online, and it was like every 8 seconds there was a score, 2-point conversion, score, and just back and forth. But they were resilient. They came out on top, and I think they're coming into the playoffs full of confidence. But also with the senior leadership they have, not overlooking this, right? I think it's, in human nature to kind of look ahead and see who you play. But they seem focused. They're ready. They can score. They can defend. So I'm excited to see them here today.
Armstrong's had about 10 days off. Meanwhile, St. Louis Park did have a first-round game, which can be a good thing if you come out and play well, which they did. They took care of business and earned themselves a right to play in this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and it's kind of that age-old debate. You see teams in the NFL that are playing for their livelihood, starting in week 12, and they catch, fire and they get on a great momentum streak. I don't know if that's the case in high school football. 10 days off, you get guys to be able to rest. You get them recovered. You're healthy. You can kind of sharpen some of the things that you're working on. So I expect them to be sharp here tonight. But, yeah, St. Louis Park, big win earlier in the week, and they're ready to go. They've had a tough schedule, too. Played good teams.
Talk about key players to look for in today's game, and starting with St. Louis Park, a guy who I think is going to have to make some plays for them against this explosive offense. Mason Helfman, the numbers jump off the board for him defensively.
I mean, well over 100 tackles, and to your point, I think Armstrong averaging over 300 yards a game rushing. You got to defend the rush first and foremost, and so he's got 15 tackles for loss. He's got 4.5 sacks, so he's used to defending the run really well. He's going to have a monster game. The guy we're talking about next, obviously, but you got to be able to bring him down. Quarterback can run, and then they mix in the pass too. But I think if you can shut down that run to an extent, it sets you up for success. So he's got to have a big one.
Kevon Johnson for Armstrong, their key player for today's game, and wow, what a season he's had. He came into this year with high expectations for both himself and for their whole offense, and they've lived up to it.
I mean, 29 touchdowns, over 1,600 yards. I guess the negative is his average is now below 10 yards per carry. He's at like 9.7, but having a phenomenal year. 5 touchdowns last week against Andover. Jay, the game you and I did a couple weeks ago, he had 5 touchdowns. So he's just so efficient, so hard to tackle. And I think I got to give credit to the coaching staff too, because they use him so well in different ways. He's such a, he can run in a variety of different ways. He's got power, but he's got this great speed and elusiveness. So he's so fun to watch, and maybe our last time broadcasting him, I'm looking forward to just seeing him play. Unreal.
Armstrong, no doubt the heavy favorite. I was talking with Jason Foster, the St. Louis Park coach. He said, we really have to make sure we don't turn the ball over and that we possess it at least some. We can't just give it right back to Armstrong. They know that it's going to take a huge effort for them to really even stay in this game, let alone win it.
Yeah, and I think the key is the start, right? Whoever gets the ball, if Andover goes down and scores, and then, St. Louis Park goes 3-0, and just like that, it's 14-0. The momentum is all on the Falcon side. That's what St. Louis Park has to avoid. Get a stop, get an early score, just get the belief that you can hang in there and play in this game. I think that's successful. So first few minutes of the game, I think, are really going to kind of determine the path of what happens today.
And we'll see if Armstrong's magical season continues or if St. Louis Park can pull off an upset here. The Orioles and the Falcons do battle next year in the Section 5 5A semis on CCX Sports.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And welcome back. Armstrong will kick off here to begin today's contest as Luke Wiesjohn puts it on the tee. A beautiful afternoon for football here. And Deshaun Amos and A.J. Foster waiting back deep here for St. Louis Park. Ooh, and it bounces away from Foster. He's going to have to pick it up on the 2-yard line, and he is brought down just over the 5 as Armstrong getting an excellent kick and then good coverage as it bounced away from Foster. In St. Louis Park, their first possession will start deep in their own territory, not what they were hoping for here.
Yeah, and A.J. Foster, a really good running back, really good with the ball in his hands. But, yeah, it's those little kinds of things like that. You don't, when you're on the road playing a really good opponent, just having that miscommunication there. Now you're backed up on your own end zone and really got to put a lot of pressure on your offense here to move the ball.
Outstanding sophomore quarterback Everett Arnold with the little shovel. Ooh, is this going to be a safety? It's very close. No signal in that regard except from the defensive players. They're going to give him progress out to about the half-yard line. Wow, that was close.
And a great tackle, too. It looked like he might be able to break it outside, but excellent job that time coming up was Hatine there. Yeah, this is dangerous. With a quarterback, you got to get the ball out of your hands.
Hand off here, and they'll get back to maybe the original line of scrimmage, if that, with Foster.
Well, and it's funny, too, Jay, not only did you and I talk about it, but I talked about it with head coach Jason Foster for St. Louis Park, is that getting off to that great start. You got 3rd and long here, and if you don't pick it up, you're probably going to give a short field to a really potent offense. So big play here.
Boy, and throwing from your own end zone with the young quarterback could be dangerous too, so they'll hand it off to Foster. A good hard run here, and he will not get the first down, though, as they stop him at about the 15, be 4th and a yard and a half, which in another spot on the field you might think about going for it, but certainly not here. And they'll have to punt it away early. Armstrong doing exactly what they wanted. Short of getting a turnover, this was about as good as you could hope for with that good kickoff.
Yeah, and I like that call. Even though they didn't pick it up, they got positive yards. You didn't put a lot of pressure on your quarterback. The worst thing you want to do, try to force something and get an interception or a turnover. So you got your punter a little bit of space here to get it off.
Nate Nowak, the lefty, with a very low kick. I don't think it was blocked or anything. I think he just hit that one poorly, and it'll bounce out of bounds at about the 38-yard line of St. Louis Park. So Armstrong and their outstanding quarterback Dawson Franke getting great field position to begin, as you'll get another look at this kick. Kind of that rugby style, but didn't get the bounce he was hoping either, as it went sideways rather than down the field.
And with that weird spin, it was actually coming back towards.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it nicked somebody or.
No, I think he kind of rushed it and just looked like he got it off the side of the foot there. But, yeah, you're giving this great potent offense a short field. You talk about Dawson Franke, almost 60%, really great balance. Over 800 yards passing, 9 touchdowns thrown. But he's a really good runner of the football, too, over 600 yards and 4 touchdowns running. So dual threat for sure.
And guess who? Kevon Johnson gets it on first down, but a pretty well-defended play defensively there, as first to hit him was Tyler Off, and then Helfman helping out as well. And Johnson will get a couple on the play for the Falcons.
Yeah, we talked about Helfman in our pregame. He's got to be so sharp today. And I'll tell you, Kevon Johnson, he's not overly big, but he's just so elusive, and he almost gets better and better with each carry as he kind of figures out the rhythm of the game.
Behind a good and veteran O-line as well. They'll go back to Johnson here and slips a tackle and will be spun down just shy of the 30. We'll leave him with 3rd and about 3.
When we talked to the different ways they get him the ball, even though that play was similar to the first one, you saw the pre-snap motion. They had Gideon Brecker in motion. Looked like he was motioning back out, so the defense kind of flows to that right side of the line of scrimmage, and then they run Johnson right up the middle to the left. So really nice just play design, play setup.
Going to go back to Johnson here. Gets through that first wave. A cutback, and he's going to go for the touchdown.
So slippery, Jay.
Wow, that one didn't look like it was anything special at the beginning, and then it turned into something special for Johnson and the Falcons.
The other thing he does such a great job of is he slows down in his 0 to 50 in about 2 strides. So he's got that great ability to kind of slow it down, slither by defenders. He ran through a couple of arm tackles, and then he's got that giddy up to get moving and get to the end zone. just a great combination of skill as a running back.
John on to attempt the extra point here for the Falcons, and he will pop it through. So 8:59 to go in the first quarter, and it quickly becomes 7-0 Armstrong.
Yeah, nice kick-out block there. Great job. You saw big number 64, Lucas Nelson. But then that's what makes him special. You get him to that second level. He's just so good at eluding defenders. I mean, great push, untouched there. But there's a one, there's two. He runs through about 4 white jersey defenders.
Good block there by Schlimgen as well for Armstrong.
The kick-out, yeah. No, I mean, anytime you have a running back with great stats, you immediately look at the offensive line because they're a big part of it. But what separates him from a lot of really good running backs is you get to that second level, he has a chance to break it at any time. He's that good.
So exactly the start Armstrong envisioned. They got a kickoff that wasn't fielded cleanly and pinned him deep, and then got a quick 3 and out, and they immediately go up on the scoreboard here.
And this possession for St. Louis Park so big. Not saying they have to score, but they got to be out on the field. They got to get a first down, give their defense a little bit of a rest here, get a good return, something positive here, especially if nothing else to change the field position.
Oh, and here's Amos. Speaking of a good return, he might go. This one is going to be a touchdown.
That's how you respond right there. You see his move? I mean, what a great move to make a couple guys miss. Just a couple of quick plants, change the direction there, and great speed. And that's what they needed that. And I think it just settles your whole team down to be like, all right, we're in it. We're back. Big time play, big time answer.
Kicked that ball higher and still short, kind of in the same general area. But Amos fielding it, and he was hardly touched. They had a good wall set up, and then he showed his great speed, made a move on the kicker, and that was all she wrote.
It was just a subtle move, right? He just kind of faked one way and then planted up the field.
This one might squeak through, though. It did. The extra point by Jacob Berry is good, even though it was partially blocked. Yep. It had enough to land on.
That was a good doink instead of the bad doink.
Yes. So St. Louis Park may be hoping that's an omen for them, too. Not only did they get the great kickoff return, a 92-yarder.
Watch that. Right there was the move. Kind of faked to left, came out to the right. Well blocked, to your point, Jamie. He was untouched there.
Yeah, it isn't that often where at about the 50 you go, okay, I think he's going all the way. And then there's a look at that extra point. Wow, landing right on the crossbar and then bouncing through. That doesn't happen too often. And so Amos with the return. Barry's extra point wasn't pretty, but it got through after being partially blocked. We are at 7-7 here. Back-to-back plays result in touchdowns.
Yeah, and Amos, three receiving touchdowns on the year, so he's no stranger to the end zone, but that is just a big-time response. Because the worst thing you want to do there is you have another 3 and out, you give the ball back on a short field, Armstrong goes up 14-0, and maybe never looks back. Instead, big-time answer. Special teams, turnovers, penalties are the 3 areas that you got to win when you're playing on the road against a really good team.
There go with the onside, and nicely handled there for the Falcons by Jack Welters.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. You got to go for it. When you're on the road, you got nothing to lose. Try to catch him off surprise, but yeah, nice, really heads-up play by Welters. Not trying to pick it up, but just get on it. And now you're going to give your offense, again, a pretty good field position here.
They scored quickly after getting the ball in Park territory the first time. This time they're not quite in Park territory, but they're their own 47, which is not bad. And we saw Kevon Johnson, and then Kevon Johnson for a touchdown that first time around.
And they've been really good this year, too, about mixing it up and having some balance. There you go, a little play action. He's got him wide open.
Frankie for Brecker. Yeah. He is about 10 yards behind everyone. This will be an easy touchdown. 53-yard strike.
And what great ball fake that time. Even I thought he gave it to Johnson. And that's what quarterbacks, you got to really sell that. And what happens when you're going against a dynamic running back, it's safeties, linebackers, everyone takes a couple of steps forward knowing that they got to help out against that run, and then he pulls it back, and man, nice throw. Brecker Well, had he been hurt before?
Yes,
yeah, he
yes.
was just coming back, I believe. The game we did a couple weeks ago, caught a touchdown in that game. You can see he's got that same ability to score from deep, and easy throw, easy catch. Great balance.
Weeze John's extra point is good. I was asking about team health, and that Jack Nagan did say, I think Brecker's now back to about 90%. He maybe wasn't the first time.
You see that extra little pause, though, and that sells it. And look, you see those safeties still trying to recover, and it does. It all starts with running the football. When you have a dynamic running game, everyone's focus is stopping that. And you had just said they gave it to Johnson that first drive. So, of course, everyone comes up, and great play call, and then, of course, great execution, too.
And you and I talked about it in that Matamidi game a couple weeks ago, that I really believe that Armstrong's passing game is better than people know. They just haven't had to use it that much because they run block so well, and Johnson is so dynamic that I believe that Franke and this receiver group, particularly with Brecker's healthy, that they could score points
and then you
having
think
to
too,
throw.
Playing in U.S. Bank Stadium where there's no elements to it, it helps the passing game. No, I agree 100% with you on that one. And if you look at their averages in the receiving yards, they're not little short dink and ducks. When they throw, they go for it.
Amos this time will not go nearly as far. They kicked it the other side of the field. He came back left with it, and he'll get tripped up just outside the 20. So Armstrong this time, much better kick coverage. They've been kind of 1 for 3. They've allowed 1 touchdown. The first one worked out very well for them, and then this one they get a good stop.
And it kind of demoralizing, too. St. Louis Park gets that big kickoff return, kind of gets the momentum back, and then, bam, first play, it gets negated. But hey, we're no strangers when Armstrong games, the total points scored, getting up there. We're 21 points in. We're not even halfway through the first quarter yet.
Arnold handing off. Foster broke 1 tackle, but then just too many red jerseys there. They swarm him after maybe a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, and that time, too, they had trips out to the right side, Jay. 3 receivers, only 2 Armstrong defenders out there. That's something they got to look at, because if they can outnumber maybe some quick throws to get a little bit of an advantage on the perimeter. They come in averaging 114 yards rushing per game, but 135 yards passing per game. So they do have nice little balance.
And off to Foster here. He is stood up, thrown down by Fred Dasson. Armstrong player shaken up, though. That's Cal Palan.
And that's what you don't want to see in playoffs, right? Because all season long, if you get someone banged up, you're always thinking, all right, we can rest them, get them right for the playoffs. These are, every game obviously being potentially the last game of the year, you need everybody healthy that you can. Good to see him getting off on his own power.
Yeah, it looked like he was holding an upper, shoulder.
Yeah, sometimes you get a stinger and they hurt like crazy, but good news is they're not usually serious or long lasting.
3rd and 8. Arnold looking to throw, and that one overshooting Amos. Looked like they weren't really on the same page there in the route, or at least the depth of the route, and that one was not close. And it'll be a punting situation again here for Park.
Yeah, and lucky that wasn't picked off, right? Those ones that kind of hang in the middle of the field like that, sometimes the safety picks those off, but Armstrong with the quick 3 and out. Remember, kind of a short punt last time.
No, Gorgos waiting back deep. Now they're telling him move up a little bit more there based on that last one. Again, it's that low knuckling rugby type kick, and Gorgos not going to take any chances, and they'll get a good. This is what he wants with that style kick. Get that good bounce.
I'm surprised he didn't
downfield.
field that, because sometimes those fast ones are pretty predictable, and you can get a little bit of space because the ball gets down there so fast, but chose to let it go. So, nice job there, just at least switching the field position battle.
Big for Armstrong defense, too, getting those 2 early stops, because let's face it, there's a lot of excitement over that thrilling win over Andover, and Coach said, we played pretty well on D, but, can you really feel good when you give up 56 points?
No, and you and I talked off camera just about that. They're going to have to win a game at some point, maybe where their offense is slowed down, and you're right. You want to get a little bit of momentum with that defense.
Johnson running off the left side makes a great move there. Ooh, nice job to hang on Down low, though, by Dominic Barth. He will get a first down, though.
To your point, if Barth doesn't make that tackle, that one's probably going for 30 or 40 yards. He's not easy to tackle in space like that, so nice job by Barth. And again, just well blocked, no touch or contact on him.
This will be Franke keeping it this time. Helfman wraps him up, but he will pick up about 4.
Yeah, good hit. That was a good contact. And I'll tell you, Franke isn't that big of a guy, but you see him lower that shoulder. He looked like a fullback finishing that run.
Yeah, he's been a really effective second weapon as a runner. Franke looking to throw out to Brecker. DeLine out there to block for him, and Brecker will pick up the first down. Nice little cut, and did a good job of following his block, too.
And I love those because they're quick. They're easy throws for your quarterback. You get a little bit of a rhythm. And again, the more they can attack the perimeter and keep that defense out of the box, ultimately it's just going to help when they hand the ball off to Kevon Johnson, too. So just doing enough to have good balance, not allowing the defense really to focus on stopping one particular thing. I think that's what makes the Falcons' attack so tricky.
Go with the counter here to Johnson, and he is on the loose again. Johnson, stumbled and fell, I think, over his own guy there, just inside the 30.
Or lost his footing, yeah. Again, another different play design that time. Looked like Franke might roll out to the left. It was kind of a delayed counter coming back to the right side.
Now that tells you how good your offense is when you're kind of disappointed that it was only a 16-yard gain, because he was still going to go, but then I couldn't tell if he tripped over somebody or just planted
he
his
just
foot
lost
wrong.
his footing, yeah. Otherwise, would have gotten probably another 10 yards.
We're going to go option pitch to the left this time. Johnson trying to spin out of a tackle, this time pretty well defended, though. He'll pick up about 3.
Eli Kemple, too, a nice job, that tight end, just kicking that block out. I've been impressed, though. St. Louis Park, good tackler so far. It's been blocked well, but when they've had a chance to tackle them, they've done a pretty good job.
2nd and 7 now for the Falcons. Fake the handoff. Franke rolling right. Now dumping it off. It is caught. Yeah. Kemple hangs on, ridden to the ground immediately there. And a nice stop by Hayden Kasika.
Well, Kemple, great catch. That's not easy for a big tight end to go low like that. But I thought Franke did a great job of allowing the time, allowing a receiver to get open. High school quarterbacks, they'll rush a throw. Did you see him buy an extra second? Knew he was going to take a hit. But that allowed Kemple just to get a step. Not a big gain, but now you set up a 3rd and manageable here.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job of not being greedy, trying to go downfield when it wasn't really there. They quickly come up to the line and go sneak.
I love that. I know it's boring. I know there's, people don't necessarily love that, but you eliminate, defensive penetration into the backfield. You get some guys behind. Now that it's legal to push them like that, it's a hard play to stop, especially when you got a big, strong quarterback like Franke.
And I'll give some credit to their O-line and their O-line coaches for sometimes when you rush up to the line like that, you get guys that just get so eager that they jump early, and they didn't. That's something you have to work on in practice or it won't work out. Throwing, going left, he gets it to Kemple. Wadke with a block for him. Kemple trying to keep his feet going as he hops down the sideline. He'll be out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Going to be first down, goal to go.
Again, not an easy throw as a right-handed quarterback rolling left. And a great job, too, by Lucas Wadke, number 11, down the field. As soon as he saw that Kemple caught that, watch 11 in your screen here. He's going to immediately find someone to block. And that block there gave him another 7-8 yards.
Johnson takes the handoff, and he is wrapped up just short of the end zone. He'll be 2nd and goal at about the 1. 3.5 to play first quarter. Armstrong already leading 14-7. We had an amazing sequence, a touchdown basically almost 3 plays in a row there. Or 3 and 4 plays, I guess. They had the 1 play prior to the, or no, was it? Actually,
it was
touchdown,
right
kick
return,
yep.
And then
you're right.
Then onside kick they recovered, but then it was first play action.
Back to Kevon Johnson, and he will get in for the touchdown. Armstrong on the board for the 3rd time already today, and 2nd time for Johnson.
And pretty well defended there, but when you only had half a foot to go. And again, that's the part of his game I don't think people recognize enough. They look at the long touchdowns that he has, but for a guy his size, he's powerful. You can see his arms. He's got big, strong legs.
Well, and I talked about it earlier, the quote from Jack Negan, their head coach, when I did a story with Kevon. Oh, this one just barely will sneak through. Yeah. When I did a story on Kevon, he said, well, anybody who's seen him in the weight room with his shirt off wouldn't refer to him as small, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and great job up front. Josiah Page, Oliver Brack, Gavin Grzybowski, Lucas Nelson, Luke Pappas, those guys up front really doing a nice job.
So 21-7 Armstrong here, 3:02 to go in this opening quarter as St. Louis Park will look to get the ball back. They haven't done much offensively. They did have a kick return for a touchdown, but trying to get that area of the game going as I think it's pretty evident that they're going to have trouble stopping Armstrong, but they got to see if their offense can get in gear a little bit more.
And the other thing that people don't talk about is when you get behind early, then you feel like you have to go get it right away. And maybe, as a coordinator and as a player, you start thinking, I got to make the extraordinary play. Well, sometimes you make them, but a lot of times those end up leading to turnovers or not being executed properly. And so you just can't get that mindset. You got to stay in it.
Little pooch kick here, taken by Jeremy Eiston, and he is brought down hard.
Nice tackle. I don't mind that because you give guys that maybe aren't used to handling the ball, right? They're not your normal returners, and obviously having given up a kickoff return already, not a bad idea.
And getting back to what you're talking about, not needing to get it all back at once, I think you have to be who you are as a team at this point also, and not throw in plays that the guys haven't been used to running and things like that. Go to Foster here, and he is brought down. Nice one-on-one stop there by Everett Daly for the Falcons.
Yeah, good penetration. They brought some pressure. It was initially well blocked, but just not a seam there to get through. And Everett Arnold, their quarterback, nice tall. He's got a good strong arm too. He looks like a quarterback.
Yeah, and just a sophomore, so there's some good things to come from him. He's had a good year. This time he will keep it. And Arnold with a nice pickup there, wrapped up by Jackson Wiley, but looks like he'll have the first down. Yes, he will.
Yep, and a good ball fake. That's the first time he's kept it yet today, so I mixed it up a little bit. You saw a lot of red jerseys. Watch him collapse here, Jay, thinking the ball was handed off there. Just a really nice ball fake and well executed. They're going to have to mix that up. They're going to have to run him to keep this defense honest.
Good job protecting the ball there, too. Little shovel toss. Amos bounces back the other way. And did a pretty good job to get what he did out of that one.
It's like he ran into a red wall. I thought he was down. All of a sudden he bounced out and heading back door on the left side. Did a nice job of keeping it going. Right there, it looked like he was pretty much done.
Yeah, you don't normally advise that, but it was by
normally
necessity
when you go backwards, you end up getting lost.
And Foster is stacked up immediately there. Be a loss actually on the play.
Yeah, this is big. They got to convert this, and I would almost think if they can get even just a couple of yards and make this a 4th and short where they are in the field, and with the score already down 2 scores, they'll probably end up going for it. So you don't necessarily got to get all of it, but you definitely want to get positive yards here.
3rd and 4 from the Armstrong 47. And Arnold is going to be dropped. Good penetration there and getting to him early. Dasson.
Yeah, I mean, 60 total tackles in the backfield. The problem with that one, Jay, was just a little bit too slow developing. The fake wasn't as good. Dasson got back there, didn't even, if you're going to get defensive penetration on a play action, they got to buy the fake. Dasson knew better, went right for Arnold there, and a couple of nice plays, picked up a first down, had a good run on first down, but just went backwards from there.
Nowak into punt again. Driving it. And again, Gorgos not going to gamble and try and field that one. It'll be down at about the 16-yard line, so not as good a field position this time for Armstrong, but they are up 21-7, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. So lots of fireworks early here, as expected. We will come back with quarter number 2 on CCX. Section 5, 5A football, Armstrong 21, St. Louis Park 7.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Johnson taking the handoff on the first play of the second quarter here for Armstrong. They'll pick up 5 on that carry.
Yeah, even plays that you're almost like, that wasn't a great play or that wasn't successful. You're still getting 5 yards, setting up, second and manageable. That's what makes it so hard to defend.
Little toss to Kempel coming in motion, and he breaks through. Kempel hopping over a tackle. Boy, look at him go. Better speed than it looked like, and he's going to go for the touchdown. Wow, 79 yards.
Wow. And I think that count as a pass, right? Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, I was thinking good size. He'll be able to bull forward, pick up that first down. He cut it upfield, and then he almost got faster as he got that body weight going, right? Maybe not that same 0 to 60 speed right away, but once he got going, he started to pull away. Tremendous athlete at that size, too. Eli Kempel, only a junior. Seen him with some nice blocks. We've seen him a couple of nice catches, that time showing off the wheels.
Yeah, I agree. The acceleration there. I mean, it looked like there were tacklers within range to, at least trip him or push him out of bounds.
That were D-backs that you'd think you're probably going to be able to run him down, and he just, that big stride got going, and he pulled away.
So Franke will get credit for a touchdown pass, even though it's a little shovel of about a half yard there.
Right there, the cut up. Another good vision. I thought they were going to get him there, and then I thought for sure they were going to catch him, and watch him just lengthen that stride. Really nice job. And to be honest, once he got the ball, he cut it back upfield, Jay. I almost thought he should have stayed outside, but he saw the crease and turned it up, went north and south, and a flash. There's so many different weapons. This offense. You got to think their offense is good enough to compete with anybody in any game in 5A.
Yeah, you don't, for them and even us, you don't want to look too far ahead, but I don't think it's a stretch to say that Armstrong will be a contender to win the whole thing in 5A.
Like I always say, if everyone played their best, how would you fare, right? Anyone can beat anyone if the other team doesn't play well or mistakes, but Armstrong's best, I think, is as good as Moorhead, as Owatonna, as anyone in 5A. And they just put so much pressure on you because they score so quickly.
Bounced away briefly from Foster, but he scoops it up and runs into a wave of tacklers as he crossed the 25 to about the 26. And Park will get it back. They had that first down that they'd gotten offensively
Yep.
last time, but then ended up having to punt it away again.
They just can't have any of those big loss plays, right? We saw it was a play action, a little bit slow developing. Quarterback got hit for 8 or 9 yard loss. They just got to keep making sure they have positive plays, set up second and manageable, set up third and manageable.
Handoff going to Foster, and well blocked. He is spun down there by Hatteen, but a good gainer to start the drive for the Orioles.
Yeah, and really kind of the first time tonight he's gotten a carry, and it was blocked well, able to get to that second level without any contact. You can see he's got good speed. Their leading rusher in the year, over 422 yards, 5 touchdowns, so really good running back himself.
Got 8 on that first down play. Arnold will go back to Foster here. He's hit immediately, though, and then Pilon drove him backward. Good to see Pilon back in there, by the way, after he went out and shaken up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and still in a good spot here for St. Louis Park. 3rd and short. Won't be surprised to see Arnold fake this and keep it. Remember, he had that nice run on a drive, a couple drives back. Big, strong kid.
He is going to hand it off to Foster, and oh boy, this is going to be close.
It's going to be right at it where they marked it. Yeah, they're giving it to him.
Yep, will be enough for the first down.
Nice, and a good answer here. I mean, nothing, spectacular, but positive plays. 3rd and short, play some physical football. You just get enough push, you get a first down. So got to keep it up, keep executing.
First and 10 at the 36 now for Park. Arnold under a rush immediately, chased out to the right. And he will flip it and complete it to Foster.
Nice
and then
play.
he takes a hard hit, but they'll get a nice gainer out near midfield.
Yeah, and Foster did Arnold did such a good job of just extending that play. And then I think what you saw is the Falcons thought he was going to run it. I couldn't see what number, but ended up coming up to make a play on the quarterback, and that's when Foster slipped in behind him. And again, great recognition, good execution.
They'll sling it out to Amos here, setting up a little screen. Made one nice move. They tried to rip the ball out of there. It's a lot of going on for only about a 1 yard gain there.
But a little balance, mixing it up here on offense. I love it. Easy throw, too. You get your quarterback an easy completion. We've already seen, Amos is electric with the ball in his hands off that kickoff return. So trying to find ways to get him the ball in space, too.
2nd down and 9. Back now up the middle. This will be Helfman running it.
Ray Ayala, nice job. Big number 95, closing down that middle. But again, good push. Good push there, picked up, 3 or 4 yards. Still 3rd and decent. Maybe only 2 yards there.
And Arnold slips the first tackle. Hatteen, though, is going to get him to the ground. Nice job. They got a lot of penetration. He got away from Daly, but knocked him sideways a little bit, and Hatteen then stops him for a big loss.
Team defense, but also you got to give your quarterback a little bit of time. He's proven to be effective. Heck of a job there just to get out of that one. Now, if he breaks that, he has a couple of blockers out in front, but just good team defense there.
4th down and about 14. They're lining up as if to go for it here. I guess with this score, nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, yeah.
Arnold will throw down the middle.
Oh, you got to
it's dropped.
Yeah, great throw. He did a great job that time. Arnold did. You see him step up? Pressure coming from the outside. He stepped up beautifully. and actually put it right on the spot.
Logan O'Day could not bring it in.
And that's, again, those are the kind of plays on the road against a good team you just got to make. It's hard, though, I'll tell you, Jay, when you're running down the middle like that and you know people are waiting to hit you, it's just human nature to lift your eyes for a second to see where that contact is going to come from. But still very catchable, really nice-looking ball, too, by Arnold.
So Armstrong will get the football back after the defensive stop at the 46 of Park. They're already up 28-7 and looking to add some more here. Franke looking to throw, wants to go deep downfield for DeLine. He had to wait for it, but he comes back and makes the catch, and he stayed on his feet. Brought down inside the 10. Wow.
What a catch by DeLine. Franke had to kind of get rid of it because he had pressure, and I don't think he was able to get as much, torque into it. Ball was definitely underthrown. Defensive back in a good spot. Watch DeLine just say, you know what, I'm going to get it.
And then a handoff to Johnson, and he will walk in for the score from the 7-yard line as Armstrong. Even when things, that previous play didn't necessarily go as planned, they still get a great play by the receiver to get it to line and sets up that TD.
Oh, if we were on SportsCenter, Jay, that would be called getting mossed, right? When you're in a good spot, but the receiver just made a unbelievably athletic play to come back to it. And it's hard, too, to not push off on that. He did it without contact. And then again, a nice cutback, too. I know the highlight was maybe that pass play, but Kevon Johnson showing his vision. Great cutback to get back into the end zone.
John's been a busy man with extra points. 35-7 Armstrong.
The last couple of weeks. Think of how many extra points he's got. Here's that. Watch this cutback, though. I mean, that's where you got to have that team defense. Everyone coming down the line so that when he does cut back, you're there to pop him. If you're not getting there, his vision, his speed, too good. Yeah, just talk about a super adjustment. You're going to see Franke had to get rid of it. Knew he was going to take contact, but look at that. Coming back over. And Tolzien, I think, was in a really good spot coverage-wise. Had his head turned around. Was right there. Just a great, great athletic play to go get that.
And then he stayed on his feet, too. I'm sure he was hoping that there wasn't somebody else there to come tackle him, but what a great reception that was. And, as much as they've been able to ride Kevon Johnson this year, I think it obviously kind of helps overall team feel for these other guys to make some plays, too.
Yep, 100%. And that's coaching, too, right? You got to understand, yes, you want to build stats, and you got a great guy like Kevon Johnson, but the more people score, the more people touch the ball, the more collective, the more people are bought in. Nice return again.
Yeah, Amos, after fielding that one, juggling it on the way after it bounced.
That's been their best offense, is just getting those kickoffs. They got to find a way to keep getting him the ball, because he's pretty electric, got great speed, he's shifty, makes people miss. And nice job there giving the Orioles here a good field position to start with.
They'll have it at their 43-yard line here. 6:57 to go in the second. Armstrong looking good as ever here, undefeated this year, and leading at 35-7.
And not only that, but they're not used to playing day games, right, during the middle of the day. So there's always that question, like, how are we going to be flat? Are we ready to go? Is the energy level going to be there? Is the crowd going to be there? But they've gotten themselves off to a great start.
Foster, short pickup there, got about one. And I asked Jack Nigan that, how do you like this afternoon? He said, yeah, it's been fun. We had a team breakfast and we were watching, some of the college game day stuff. And he said, yeah, it's a little bit different, but I think it'll be fun for the guys. Just something to come out on a day game. And he said, crowd-wise, I think we should still be okay. And it looks like it is.
Yep. Nice job there. Great job up front by Hoop Pappas, too.
Yeah, he's been their 4-year starter and very confident he'll be an all-state player this year. He should be. Rolling right, and that throw incomplete as they tried to find Cooper Schultz.
And here's why I'm not a fan of those rollouts, especially to the short field. And not only in high school, but at all levels. is that you're so limited. You only probably have one, maybe two receivers in that area. And actually, that was a smart play by Arnold. Instead of trying to force it and maybe throw a pick, he threw it out of bounds. He knew there was no one there, but you're so limited when you run into the short part of the field like that.
Timeout taken here by St. Louis Park as they will face a 3rd down and 9 coming up out of the timeout. And
this offense, I mean, we talked about Armstrong's defense, Jay, having to play better. I mean, this team put up 37 points against Minneapolis Southwest on Tuesday. If you look through their schedule, they've had a few games where they've put a ton of points on the board. So definitely a capable offense. And I think other than that kickoff return, you got to love how the Falcons have played defense here for most of the game.
Arnold 4 out of 7 throwing, although mostly real short stuff. That last one time they had it, the 4th down pass was actually pretty well thrown but not held on to. So here's a 3rd and 9. And we're going to have...
The defense moved first, but I don't know if they crossed the neutral zone.
It's going to be the first penalty of the game.
That's been clean, huh?
Yeah, I realized it before, and I didn't want to say anything because all of a sudden they'll start coming out. And the officials, there's...
Did you watch the Vikings game on Thursday?
I did.
Was that not... I mean, those were some horrendous calls that seemed to all go against Minnesota.
They certainly missed that face mask at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It will be against Armstrong.
That's big. I mean, that's, going from 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 4, where you were almost certain in a passing situation. And what that does, too, is that allows Armstrong to just tee off their pass rush. Now you got the opportunity here where you don't have to throw it. Any play is on the table here.
Arnold going to step up and try and run for it here, and he will get there.
Yeah, he's tall, lengthy, got some good speed.
Avery Oseth able to bring him down, but not before he got a nice gainer to the 45.
When you said it, only a sophomore. There's certain guys that just look like certain positions. He looks like a quarterback. Looks like he's got those big hands. You can see he's got a pretty strong arm and good athleticism, too. He's going to be a great player before it's all said and done.
Flips it to Amos. He runs into a lot of traffic. They tried to yank the ball out.
It looked slow developing, didn't it? Like, you just, against guys with penetration, you got to be quicker in getting out in space. It was the right idea. And again, Amos been so good with the ball in his hands. But it just looked like it was slow getting him to the outside and too much penetration.
I could be wrong, but it almost looked to me like he was considering throw. Like this might have been a designed throw from him, and that would kind of explain why he might have been going slow there. I don't know. It was hard to say for sure, but there was just too much penetration for him to even consider.
He did a heck of a job just making that first guy miss, but just nowhere to go.
Arnold will keep it here. Got around the outside, and a nice run down that sideline for Arnold. Finally wrapped up at about the 25.
You can see how big he is, too. He doesn't go down easy.
There is a flag, though.
I wondered why he looked frustrated. And you see that flag so often, that's usually going to be a hold, block in the back.
Yep, holding.
That's frustrating when you just made a great individual effort play like that. See it come back.
And, of course, if you're Armstrong, you're saying, well, that's why he got down the field, because he had a hold out there on the edge. So now each team has committed a penalty on this drive.
But that's been their biggest plays, Jay, is when he's kept it. Had good play fakes and kept it himself. Now you're, second and really, really long.
Arnold dropping to throw. Ooh, takes a hard hit. He got the completion over the middle. This one held onto in traffic by O'Day.
What a catch.
A nice gainer. That'll be enough for the first down. 25-yard pickup. Kempel in there blasted the quarterback Arnold just as he threw.
Talk about sticking in there, knowing you're going to get hit. Steps up. I mean, that is putting it right between four red jerseys. And O'Day, who probably should have caught that one a few series ago on 4th down, that time made a great play. Look at him go up and get it. That was big time throw, big time catch all around.
Osseo is injured for Armstrong after that play.
Yeah, and you look at Logan O'Day, I mean, he looks like a big guy too. You see him walking off. Never know if it's an ankle, knee, something that just smartened for a minute.
So big pickup of that first down. It was 2nd and 23, and they got 25. It'll be first down at the Armstrong 33 now for the Orioles. They are down, though, 35-7, but getting some positive things happening a little bit.
I mean, and that ball was put literally in the only spot it could be put in a very crowded secondary. Just a great throw, confident throw and catch.
Yeah, and he definitely took a hard hit from Kempel as he threw that one. Handoff here, and Helfman, pretty good runner as well on the offensive side. Pilon with the tackle.
Good patience that time. He kind of slowed down, allowed O'Day to get in front of him, and then just read it beautifully.
And now Dasson is hurt for the Falcons.
That's not, well, you don't want to see anyone hurt, but he's such a big part of their defense.
Looks like Helfman are going to be marked just shy of the first down. Yeah, that's the thing with this score. You start to think about, you know, we're still first half. Obviously, you're not taking players out yet, but you always are thinking in the back of your mind we don't want to have any injuries. But you can't really think that way.
The way he's walking too, the way he's holding his left arm, looks like something in his shoulder, or elbow. He's such a big part. He's really the pulse of that defense. Certainly hope he's okay.
2nd and a yard coming up here for the Orioles. They were still kind of finishing discussions with Coach Foster there. They wound the clock coming out of that because that previous play was a clock running situation. Arnold dropping to throw and left it short out in the flat as he tried to hook up with Cooper Schultz.
Yeah, and it was a good read. I think just maybe a second behind, and then also you want to see their quarterback with that big arm step into the throw, kind of threw it from the weight being on his back foot. You want to drive that ball. But yeah, no loss there. You still got 3rd and very manageable.
Third down and 1. Helfman is in the backfield here. He'll take the handoff, and he will get that first down with ease. Well blocked.
Yeah, they do a nice job. They bring Logan O'Day, number 9, the tight end. He comes on the left side. He comes across the formation, and they follow his block, and he's had a couple of nice kickouts. You know, not only are they driving, and obviously you want to score, but you're keeping that Armstrong offense off the field too. So big.
Back to Helfman, this time well defended.
Ayala there again. Big red wall right in the center of the defense.
Just a yard that time for Helfman. 2nd down and 9 here. Under 3 to go now in this first half.
Yeah, it's so critical here. You've had a great drive. You got to figure a way into the end zone.
Foster slipped through the first tackle and then brought down by Pilon.
Yeah, Everett Daly, number 28, had a shot at him right at the line of scrimmage. And just ran right through the arm tackle, Foster did. Get a nice gain, setting up that 3rd and manageable again. This is big too, because if you can get a first down here, you can maybe essentially run this clock out, put the ball in the end zone, and also at the same time not give leave a lot of time left for the Falcons offense, which we've seen how quickly they can strike.
Foster takes the handoff. Quickly wrapped up there for the Falcons by Ayala. And no, didn't look like he got much of anything there. Be no gain.
No. I would love here to see Everett Arnold, the quarterback, put this ball fake it and keep it and use that big body. He's been really effective running the ball. That's what I would go with here.
He's going to throw, and it's tipped twice and falls incomplete, and Armstrong will take over on downs as they try to go to O'Day there right at the goal line.
Yeah, and that's tough, right, in a short field like that, because you got your linebackers and you also have those safeties, so just not a lot of space. And no ball fakes. The linebacker's ready for it. Yeah, there's two red jerseys waiting. Jackson Wiley did a nice job up front. And then coming over the top, too, you said Dylan there closing that ball down, just nowhere to go. Great drive. St. Louis Park just fell a little bit short. And now you got minute 35. We've seen how quickly they can go down the field.
On their own 8-yard line. Handoff here going to Kevon Johnson. Into the secondary he goes and ridden down there after a nice pickup. Finn Broberg on the tackle. But he will pick up nearly 20, and Johnson is not getting up. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not Johnson. Looks like Wadkey is the injured player. Another look as Johnson takes a handoff. Nelson a great kick out block. And then Wadkey is blocking downfield. And let's see how they kind of fall onto his back there, the defensive player. And he is up. That's the good news. We've seen a lot of guys, get dinged up, but they've generally been able to get up and walk off and not be, immediately evident as being something super serious. But so first down at the 28. Franke giving to Johnson on the counter and another big gap. He is wrapped up after a gain of about 11. They'll have another first down. Actually, a little more than that. 13 they'll give him to the 41. Franke rolling left. Now he's going to tuck it and go. And he'll jump out of bounds. We do have a flag down. I think it's going to be a block in the back. And a very unnecessary one late in that play. Receiver. So when Franke was closing in on finishing this run, it's going to be a hold actually against the Falcons. So the good news, I guess, for them is it did happen downfield a ways, so they're back just shy of the original line of scrimmage there, back at the 41. Be first and about 11 here. Minute 3 to go. Kemple coming in motion, and they're going to throw for him, but it's behind him and incomplete. Just got a hand on it there, but couldn't reel it in as Franke didn't get that one out front of him. So second and long now with 59 seconds to play in this first half. Brings Kemple in motion, and he'll reset on the other side. Now Franke wants a little screen set up to Johnson, but the Orioles are all over that one. Tyler off, wasn't fooled, and came up. Be a timeout taken here by Armstrong. So they'll stop him for no gain. And so a 3rd and 11 coming up with 50 seconds to go in the half after the timeout taken. Ryan has made his way down to the field, and we'll be hearing from each coach here at halftime of this one. Great first half here for Armstrong, continuing their 8-0 regular season, leading at 35-7. Section final, if Armstrong should win, would be here next Friday. Could be seeing a rematch with Cooper, but the Hawks have to take care of business in their semifinal this evening over at Cooper. See what they've got in mind in this 3rd down. Franke's going to roll to the right, steps up, fires, complete for the first down to Wadke, who's back in. Needed 11, and they get about 14. Wadke with his first catch. They'll quickly get back on the ball here. Franke throwing, and Wadke again with the catch. He did not get out of bounds, though. So they'll have to use a timeout. They pick up about 8 as he was kind of stumbling as he made that catch. But still a good gainer, and they did have timeout to use. So we talked about it the previous last game we did here against Matamidi, how impressive Armstrong's drive was at the end of the first half. It ended up, they scored a touchdown that was called back because of a penalty on the final play, but it really showed what they could do and what having a veteran quarterback who's really handles these situations well. I mean, they marched down the field in a great variety of plays, and it was really impressive, even though it didn't end up counting with the touchdown, and they're trying to do the same right here. And that's the thing, you think about, okay, 35-7, how important is this drive really? But you have to always be playing for what might come next too. You're drilling for, maybe you get into the section final or the state quarterfinal or whatever, and need a drive at the end of a half. And yeah, it's one thing to do it in practice, but in a game situation, this is super valuable practice for it, regardless of how this drive turns out. Fake the handoff. Franke chased out, got a block, throws downfield. Wadke's open. He's got the catch. Short of the end zone as he'll catch it and fall down at the 2. Now, if he were in the NFL, of course, you could roll into the end zone and that would be a touchdown. Instead, they'll have to settle for a long gainer of 35, but 1st and goal now at the 2. And fake the handoff. Franke keeping it. He's brought down short of the goal line. He got about a yard. They're going to have to use it last time out. As the Orioles defended that one well. He faked the handoff to Johnson, who was also wrapped up right away, and then Franke wrestled down at the 1. Look at that previous play, boy. Got a good block to take out 2 rushers there on the edge and allowed Franke time enough to throw, and Wadke catches it. Had to go to the ground in the process, though. Falls down on his back at the 2. And they're still in a position to try and punch this one in. 2nd and goal at the 1. Of course, time now definitely an issue, though, with no timeouts remaining. They've got to either get it in on this play or have an incompletion, or more than likely it's going to be the end of the half. Although getting a yard or more at any given time hasn't been all that difficult today, so they got to like their odds of being able to punch this one in. They bring the tight ends over to the left side now. Hand off to Johnson. He goes that way, and he will get in for the touchdown. Had to avoid an early tackler in the backfield and did so with ease and walks in for another score. And Armstrong continues to put points on the board. Has a nice drive down the field to end the half. Johnson already his 4th touchdown of the day. Wiesjohn on to attempt the extra point here for the Falcons. And his kick is up, and once again it is good. So 13 seconds to play in the first half. Armstrong now leading at 42-7. Another look as Johnson, you see right there, Helfman got some penetration, tried to cut him down, but once he slipped that one, he was able to get in without too much difficulty there. So Johnson, another big afternoon for him and this Armstrong offense. Falcons will kick off here, Wiesjohn. Amos did have a kick return for a touchdown for St. Louis Park. That's their 7 points. The other ones have been generally pretty well defended by Armstrong. And they've kicked in a variety of ways here. Wiesjohn's going to bang it on the ground. Amos will scoop it up at about the 11. And works his way out over the 30 to about the 34. They'll only have 5 seconds remaining though here in the half. We'll see what Park will do here with this last opportunity and 5 seconds to go. Gonna go on the handoff. And just a couple yard pickup. And we will come to the half as a dominant first half for the top seed Armstrong here. Falcons lead at 42-7. We'll take a timeout and come back with our halftime activities here at Armstrong High School. Falcons rolling in this one.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back. We're at halftime. Let's go down to Ryan with Coach Foster.
Hey, Coach, I know the score isn't what you want it to be, but I thought there were a lot of positives in that first half. The great kickoff return, and I've been super impressed with your young quarterback, too. What did you like in that first half?
Well, definitely the kickoff return was a big boost for us to get a score on the board that tied up 7-7.
You and I just talked about it, right? Not getting off, getting down early, so it was huge.
Around and threw the ball. I mean, like I said before, they're a great team, and we try to put our focus on one, and now 13 is throwing the ball all over the lot. But I was impressed with how our guys kind of stuck in there. Wish we could have scored when we was down in the 10-yard line. I think it would have kind of given them another little boost. But they're playing hard. That's the only thing I can ask for. Hopefully we can kind of just get some more points on the board offensively. the second half.
I was just going to say, what do you tell them at halftime? Maybe winning isn't going to happen, but how do you win the second half?
The thing about it is like play by play. So you just got to take one play at a time to see if we can get anything positive, especially offensively, and see if we can try to turn them over on defense. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
Awesome. Well, great attitude. Good luck in the second half. Appreciate it, Coach. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Foster. A tough interview, but he's a positive guy, and he's done a good job with this program for sure as well here. 42-7 Armstrong at halftime. We'll come back with first half highlights and stats, and we'll hear from Coach Jack Neggett of Armstrong as well here at halftime. Falcons rolling here over St. Louis Park.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Welcome back to Armstrong High School. Is Armstrong leading St. Louis Park 42-7 at halftime of this Section 5 Class 5A semifinal. Falcons looking to stay unbeaten and looking very much like they might. As we look at the first half highlights, they got a quick early stop, and then right away, Kevon Johnson getting to work. Great blocks up front, made a nice cut, 33-yard touchdown, and they were up quickly 7-0. Next play, though, Amos fielding the kickoff for the Orioles, gets good blocks, and he shows his wheels. So only 13 seconds later, Park ties it up at 7-7. But then Armstrong, after recovering an onside kick, they go right to work, play action. And Gideon Brecker is wide open behind the defense, a 53-yard score. So we had 3 touchdowns in 23 seconds. And then later in the first quarter, Kevon Johnson finishing a drive with his second TD, 21-7 after 1. Then the little shovel forward here. This one goes as a pass. And look at Eli Kempel. Tight end, junior, good size, but also showing off his great wheels. 79-yard scoring play early in the second. And then Franke throwing it up deep. Watch this catch by DeLine, coming back, ripping it away from the defensive back. And that sets him up inside the 10. And Johnson will do his work again, finishing another drive for the Falcons here. Well blocked out front, a little cutback, and he's easily in for the touchdown. And they weren't done yet. 2-minute drill late. Franke rolling out. Got a good block on the edge, and then he finds Wadke, who had a tough catch, so he fell to his back at the 2, but they still had time to punch it in as Johnson able to finish the drive with his 4th touchdown run. So get a look at our first half stats for the game here. The Orioles, a couple of big plays here and there, and overall you wouldn't say that's a horrible first half yardage wise, but then you look at what Armstrong has been able to do with those long pass plays, including, as I said, that 79-yarder to Kempel, I believe would officially go as a pass as he shoveled it forward. And pretty penalty free until very late in the half. Then we had a few, but generally pretty clean before that. Well, we'll come back with more football here. Looks like Armstrong will be making a return to the section final. And yes, we are very near Halloween here at Armstrong.
At Top Line Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Top Line member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
Welcome back. Let's go down to Ryan with Coach Neggett.
Hey, Coach, the 1999 Rams, greatest show on turf called, and they think you might have surpassed them as far as explosive offense. I mean, what a great first half.
Yeah, it's fun, right? We have a couple big play guys, and we're getting some guys healthy. Gideon Brecker, we haven't had most of the year, and so to get him back, we have a little ability to throw the ball now, too, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, too, we were talking about it during the broadcast, when you get a big league like this, obviously it's the playoffs. How do you manage staying aggressive, but also maybe not wanting to get guys hurt and all that? Is that a discussion here as we go to the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it right at halftime, and we wanted to get a good first half in, and so, we want to come out and play clean, but we need to get some other guys in, right, stay healthy and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, last thing, anything particular you're looking for here in the second half?
No, I just want our younger guys, right, to play clean and finish this thing well.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Yep, back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan. And Coach Negan, as the Falcons in an enviable spot, but it was still one you have to kind of consider some of the things about, when do you pull guys and things like that. So 42-7 Falcons. We'll take another timeout here as they put the 3 minutes back on the clock as they finish warm-ups for half number 2 here. Armstrong looking to move back in that Section 5 final.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back to Armstrong as we get set for our second half kickoff here. A dominant first half for the Falcons, and they lead at 42-7 here in the Section 5A tournament. And you see just had one quarterfinal round game. It was the St. Louis Park team defeating Southwest. And you got this game and Cooper Washburn playing at 7 o'clock tonight, Saturday night, in that other semifinal. And I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, Ryan, but
why aren't we doing a doubleheader?
Yeah, no, 5-team sections. Come on, high school league. It's too watered down. Too many classes if you've got team sections that only have 5 teams in them.
No, I agree. The only good news is maybe by spreading it out, you get more good teams in the actual, state tournament. But I'm with you. It used to be such a big deal to go to state, right? Because you had to win 3, 4. Sometimes in some of those bigger sections back in the day, it was 5 games. But yeah, Armstrong setting up. Obviously, if they continue win this game, and then Cooper tonight, if they're able to win, they're going to set up a pretty good rivalry to go to the state tournament.
Yeah, and Cooper's kind of quietly had a really good season. They got beat by Armstrong in a game we had, and beat pretty bad, but that's their only loss.
Which isn't a bad thing sometimes, right? We always talk about that. Maybe it gets their attention. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see, just style-wise here. How long does Armstrong keep its starters out there? Are they, foot on the gas? That score right before half, what a drive, going the length of the field, a couple of big pass plays, just executed it perfectly.
Going to go onside kick again, and this one is recovered as kind of drifting back from it, but recovering was Max Peters Herbert there for
the big fella showing off his athleticism. They had to kind of reach for it, and that's not easy when guys are running at you about to hit you.
Yeah, that was actually a very well executed kick in that it kind of created an in-between bounce where you weren't sure he was going to be able to field it cleanly.
And if he didn't, that would have been, back over to St. Louis Park.
Armstrong, you would expect, just based on past experience from them and just other teams in general, you'd expect probably to see at least like 2 drives out of this starting group. I don't know.
I thought even if they maybe score here right away, that, going 49-7, that maybe that's the last you see of them. But you don't want to get guys hurt.
Here's Kevon Johnson into the secondary. He goes, and they'll wrap him up, bring him down, but another nice pickup of about 15.
Unofficially, how many yards did he end up with in that first half?
Not as many as maybe you'd think. I had him unofficially at 120.
Oh, that's even higher than I thought. yeah, obviously had the 4 scores. But he didn't have that, 70-yard touchdown run that he's capable of. But he does those. Those are routine, those, 14 to 18-yard carries.
Franke rolling out, and down he goes. He knew he needed to think about getting rid of that one, but Helfman closed quickly, and I think a smart play to take that sack instead of tossing one up for grabs.
No, I thought maybe he was going to just throw it away there. I don't think he realized that Helfman was closing on him like that. Helfman had a nice game. We see him running the ball today, but also defensively. He's been a sure tackler, good speed. Only a junior, too.
2nd and 13, back to the ground to Johnson, and well blocked on that left side. Johnson bouncing it to the outside, takes on a tackler as he's spun down around the 25. That'll be a first down, another 17 yards or so for Johnson.
Well, it's just such a luxury on 2nd and 14 that you can hand the ball off and just be pretty confident your running back's going to pick that up. They just move the ball so quickly. Big chunk plays.
And you talked about it earlier. He as impressive as he is, they opened up a nice running lane there. And off to Johnson again. Into the second level he goes, and he'll be down close to another first down. Looks like maybe just short of it, around the outside the 15-yard line. Give him 9 more.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, he's been so successful running it. See Dawson Franke maybe keep one play action, and instead of passing it, keeping it himself. We haven't seen him run the ball a lot here today.
No, just a total of 4 runs, including that sack that he just took. Spins out of there with it now, throwing and looking for Schlimgen, incomplete. We do have a flag at the end of the play here in the backfield near the quarterback. I think it's going to be against the offensive lineman here, and I don't know if it was a late hit or...
Well,
personal foul.
Helmet to helmet, yeah. Number 4, Hayden Kasika, nice job. I think that play design takes a little bit of time, and he was able to get pressure on Franke and force him to throw it a little bit earlier.
I'm going to say, you knew it wasn't going to be roughing the passer because he didn't end up tackling him. He just got close to him. And
I didn't see a helmet to helmet, though, on the block.
I thought it could have been maybe that blindside type block. Could that be what it was? Maybe I possibly misread the signal. Johnson taken down by Helfman.
Yeah. He's been doing that all year, and that's how I envisioned if this game started more like that, right? Him one-on-one with Kevon Johnson, and you can see when he's got a chance to bring you down, he's gonna be able to do it. He's such a sure tackler.
So Armstrong, for one of the first times, kind of going backward. Things not going smoothly here of late in this drive. Franke rolling to his right, and in trouble again, and down he goes, and it's Helfman.
He's had himself a series. A couple of solo tackles for loss, sack. He's had a great series. You can see he's a great defensive player. Interesting what they do here. 4th and long. Do you try to punt and maybe bury him in the 5 or 10, or do you take a shot here, trust in your defense?
They do still have all the offense out there, although I guess Franke could punt it.
Yeah, you see him take
I think that's what he's going to do,
Yep, smart.
Very high kick, and they get a pretty good bounce, and Wadke will down it at about the 8. I like that play.
And it doesn't sound like much, but there's a 40-yard difference, right? Starting almost at midfield, now you're buried to within your 10-yard line. So smart play, and probably for the first time all game, the only series where they didn't result in a score. And I wonder if what you had said, 2 series, if that'll keep them coming back out for maybe one more series, the starters.
The Orioles get the football. That's their good news, but the bad news is it's inside their 10 again. Arnold throwing, and a nice catch by Amos as he juggled that one. Let's see where they'll mark him out.
He stepped out right after he caught that, but great one-hander. And I like that. Just an easy throw for your quarterback. You can see, I mean, they got to figure out how to get Amos the ball. He's been so good. Quick throw, a little bit high to the outside. Great catch. You see him right there. He goes out. And you bite yourself a little bit of rhythm here, a little bit of room, too, not backed up into your goal line.
Arnold looking to throw now, steps up, and he's going to be wrapped up and thrown down by Ayala.
Ayala's had a big game today, Jay. Against the run. Big, strong kid, hard to block. You talked about him being a 4-year starter. You can see the experience paying off.
So no gain on that last play. Maybe a short loss even looked like for Arnold.
Yeah, it's still third and manageable here. Again, I'd like to see that quarterback get the ball, maybe a misdirection, and see if he can't get going up the field.
Arnold wanted to screen over the middle. It looks like now he throws late toward Amos.
Yeah.
It's incomplete.
And he actually had A.J. Foster in the flat on the left side with no defender around him. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing you got to pair back-to-back. Your defense comes up, gets a stop, and then see if that offense can't capitalize on that opportunity. Instead, now you're giving Armstrong a short field again.
Nowak standing in his own end zone here, getting ready to punt this one away, the left footer.
Got a good punt.
Gorgos fielding it at the 45, and he has all kinds of room.
And he came back to the right, Jay.
There's a flag down on this return as well, presumably against Armstrong.
Did you see, I mean, the left side, he was wide open with a couple of blockers up there. If he would have kept going that way, instead came back to the right, and I think his blocker down the field kind of had to adjust and got caught with a hold.
Obviously not much hang time on those low rugby-style punts, which in general had been working well for
you got to get it shorter, Novak, though, so you can get the bounce started. Otherwise, they can be. But, yeah, I truly felt if he would have stayed to the left side, I think he had room to score. There was not many white jerseys that way.
Yeah, when he started upfield, you're looking like,
I saw it, yeah.
There's
almost
like nobody around him.
Yep. And I think his blockers thought that when he cut, defender change, and that's when you get caught with the little bit of jersey in your hand. But still great field position with their starters back out there.
At the 39 of Park, handoff to Kevon Johnson, and spins out of that Helfman tackle, and Helfman gets back up and tackles him.
What a battle. Two really, really great players there. I love that effort. Helfman missed him and then jumped right back up and still ended up making the tackle. But again, a little bit of that power and burst that Johnson has just to kind of make something out of nothing.
Got a 5-yard gainer on that one. 2nd and 5 here as we're approaching the halfway point of this third quarter. Armstrong still in command 42-7, although they were stopped the last time they had the ball, which has not been common here today. Franke throwing, complete. Wadke shakes a tackle. Wadke spinning and then cartwheeled down about the 17-yard line. There is a flag down on the play, though. This one might be coming back.
Good, nice play action there. Good fake to Johnson and quick throw.
Another hold against the Falcons.
That's weird because it was such a quick throw, unless they got maybe one of the receivers downfield.
It looks like from the spot where the flag happened that must be the case after he was already running with the ball there.
And then in high school, that's where the hold took place. So, negates the yardage, not too bad. But yeah, again, nice, just great offense. Hard to hard to defend when you got everything working.
The 2nd and 6 coming up, so they really only end up losing about a yard because that block was downfield.
I was going to say, so it had to be a receiver downfield.
And off here and in the backfield now is Jackson Wiley taking that carry. First runner other than Johnson or Franke who's handled the ball.
And you don't wonder if Kevon has seen his last carry of the day. He's probably like, Coach, I only have 4 touchdowns. It's used to at least 5.
3rd and 4 here for Armstrong. Franke throwing, and DeLine with the catch, and will have the first down at the 26-yard line.
He threw that one tentatively, like he just wanted to make sure it got there and was accurate. Ball kind of floated, but a good job by DeLine, kind of using his body to shield and got just enough. Knowing where that first down marker is, making sure you get enough depth that you catch and it's a first down.
Johnson is back in there in the backfield. Back to that counter look and a big hole to run through. He makes a cut and then lost the ball late. It's going to roll through the end zone. They're saying touchdown. That he was already over the goal line apparently, and Johnson will get credit for the touchdown.
That counter so tricky. Roll out to the right. Johnson coming back. He's had so much success. Let's see. Ooh. Jay, I think that ball was loose. You can see it coming loose. Right there.
Yeah, they got a.
They're lucky on that one.
Reese John will come on to take the extra point kick, and it is up and it is good. So Armstrong maybe a little bit of a break there, as Johnson looked like he had coughed it up short of the goal line, but they'll score it as a touchdown.
I kept waiting for Coach Foster to maybe make his own red flag to throw that out on the field. But, you know, what a play call. And I think they've ran that play 3 times today, and all have been for huge yardage. And look at that hole, Jay. Just a great effort. And that ball security right around that goal line, so tricky. Because you applaud their effort trying to get in, right? But you see it all the time in the NFL. Guys end up losing it right before the goal line. But hard for the referees to make that call, especially without replay. But great job by our camera crew, as always, right on top of it.
And it was interesting that it looked like a Park player maybe could have recovered, but he let it roll. He could see it was going to roll out of the end zone, which would mean they'd get it for a touchback, which if he recovered, it would be the same, but then you'd maybe be fighting for the ball with Armstrong.
Yeah, the only thing is you don't know if someone behind it, you know, on the other team is there. You'd rather just go and get on it, but yeah, that was a close one. But that's the kind of drive, you know, if you are going to pull your starters, you want to leave on it with that kind of drive. Positive points, good execution.
Return out to right around the 30-yard line here, where Park will get the football back, now down 49-7. 4:32 to go. We would be in running time, but we're not to the fourth quarter yet. And we'll see if the lead stays in a similar area here. And
yeah, that's always a hard part with playing with a big lead is, you know, figuring out when to get guys in, get them out, and then you got guys maybe playing with other guys they're not used to playing to, and you want to stay sharp.
Arnold is sacked. Pilon getting there first. There were actually 3 guys around, but Pilon, I think, made first contact, and another Armstrong player who was in there is injured.
Everett Daly, he was one of the first ones in there too. You can see there's Daly coming, and he actually ends up colliding with his own guy.
Both guys hitting him at once, and then even Mendoza coming for extra help if needed.
Got to give your quarterback just a little bit more time. He had 3 guys coming from all different directions there. Just nothing he could do with that.
Loss of 10. Arnold will hand it off to Foster here, trying to fight his way out of a leg trap there. Jack Welters had him down low.
Yeah, he didn't let go. Smart, good play, and that's what you're taught. If you can't maybe make, the full tackle, just hang on. And he kept with it, able to get him down. Otherwise, there was a lot of room up there.
Third and long now. He picked up 5. Get him a 3rd and 15. Arnold trying to get to the edge here, and it's not going to happen as he's wrapped up and dropped by Hatteen.
Yeah, he tried to stiff arm and looked like it maybe was going to work, but Hatteen.
I'm sorry, Hawkert, Jackson
Hawkert.
29, not 20 there. Jay, come on.
He did a good job, too, of stringing that along, not getting sucked to the inside, and then once he realized there was nowhere for the quarterback to go, then he closed, made a great tackle.
So Nowak on the punt. Gorgos waiting for the return, hoping for another opportunity. Previous ones had been too tough to handle with that knuckling rugby style kick.
And you see Frankie and Johnson on the bench. Normally be getting ready to, good bounce. That's going to end up being about a 70-yard punt. 65. Yeah, it looks like their days are done. Getting a younger group here, get a chance to get some meaningful varsity experience in the playoffs. There's nothing better than that. That's a look at 2 guys that know they did everything they needed to do today. We're sharp right from the get-go. Get out of here healthy and ready for your rivalry next Wednesday. When is that next one?
Friday. Jackson Wardline at quarterback here for the Falcons. That one gets away, and that's what Coach Nigan was talking about. You don't want to come out of a game where things are ugly late. You just want your kids to execute. Yeah, you're going to come in and you're not going to be Kevon Johnson or Dawson Franke, but
you can't do that kind of stuff, right?
Where you want to give them a feeling that you're at least going to be able to run the plays.
Jordan Wardlaw, only a sophomore.
Oh, and another bad snap. This one into the end zone, and he's going to have to just toss it. This will be a safety, I think. Well, maybe not. Yeah, now the flag comes out. Going to be intentional grounding in the end zone, a safety.
That ball has to pass the line of scrimmage. It's the right idea, but that was just the snap, the shotgun snap. Both of those were low. Exactly what Coach had talked about, and just saying we didn't want that drop off at all.
So a 49-9 score now. And Armstrong will have to kick it away here to Park. Well, and you can't blame the weather on that snap either.
No.
It's a pretty special day for playoff football.
Man, they've been lucky this year. It does. I mean, it really changes the game when it's snowy or rainy or freezing cold. It brings a whole new element to it. The weather for these guys this year is. 2 weeks ago we did this game. It was 80 degrees at the kickoff at 7 p.m. So late October, we've seen a lot worse weather.
Weiss John is going to use a tee, it looks like.
Yeah, going over some center quarterback exchanges on the sideline. Armstrong is just trying to get those shotgun snaps up a little bit.
Foster's going to field it at the 38, dropped it, and spun away from 2 different tacklers, and then brought down at about the 46, 47 yard line. They'll spot it.
It's a good field position here. Let's see if, St. Louis Park maybe obviously too far down to think about coming back and winning, but you can still get some positive things done. Go down, march down, get a score. Get positive things going into the offseason too. They're going to lose Amos, but they got a lot of guys coming back. A lot of their talent will still be here again next year.
Arnold throwing, nice catch by Amos, and he makes a great move and then forced out of bounds after a gain of about 7 or 8.
Just shifty, isn't he? He's got that great footwork. You saw him with that speed on that kickoff return, but he's had a one-hand catch, and you've seen him just make guys miss. He just is one of those guys you got to figure out how to get him the ball in space. Nice.
And flags coming out everywhere. That's going to be an incomplete pass, but also looks like probably an offensive penalty right near the line. Yeah, holding. Armstrong, there's not out of the question that, no, I'm sure they'll probably take this one considering the spot. Yeah. Just the second penalty on the Orioles if you're looking to find positives for them.
Clean, both sides really been a pretty clean game.
The 2nd and 13. We approach the end of the third quarter. A minute 11 to go. Arnold spinning out to his right. Throw was an incomplete. He had a couple different guys there. I'm not sure if that was intended for Amos or for O'Day.
Which usually means one of them didn't get the correct depth in that route. You want guys at different levels so that linebacker has to either kind of stay deep or come up, and that allows the quarterback to make the decision of who they're going to throw to. When you get 2 guys right by each other, they can be guarded essentially by one person. Again, don't need to necessarily get it all here, but right around midfield, look to get 7-8 yards, set up something manageable.
Rush coming, he gets rid of it. Oh, and just defended by Gorgos at the last second there as he tried to get it to Eichten.
Yeah, it looked like Eichten did a nice job of using his body to kind of shield off the defender. Ball was put right on the mark and maybe just tipped right at the end or just unable to hold on to it.
They'll go for it here certainly on 4th and 13. Yeah. Deep drop, throwing downfield, and incomplete as he overshoots Amos. So Armstrong will take over on downs as they stop Park there.
Yeah, and that's still just a young quarterback getting excited. He had his guy open down the seam there. And that way you just got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to make a play on the ball. What happens, you get excited, you end up pushing it, you don't get the arc on it, and you overthrow. If anything, miss a little bit short, at least on 4th down, to give your guy a chance to go make a play.
Another low snap. Wardlaw this time getting the handoff away, and the run from Ben Francis. He will pick up 4.
Well, nice job by Wardlaw just picking that ball up. And also not going on a knee to do it, right? If his knee's down when he picks that up, he's down. Kind of squatted, able to get it up and still get the handoff.
Second down and 6.
Ooh, oh boy.
Oh, that one's going nowhere. Helfman running over Francis.
Helfman, I've been impressed with how he's played tonight. He's been as solid as they come. That's why we highlighted him in the pregame. He's just been so good.
That's going to be the last play of the third quarter. We'll go to quarter number 4. Armstrong rolling here, 49-9. The fourth quarter is up next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And here we go in the fourth quarter. Helfman a stop as Will Simpson took that little shovel trying to pick up a first down on 3rd and long, and Helfman defending that one well.
Well, we talked about Helfman having to be active, and he certainly has, even though it hasn't resulted in the score being better, but he's got to be in double digits with tackles and assists here. A couple for loss, too. And we've seen him run the ball. He's just been a really good player.
4th and 9, and this spot on the field, though, Armstrong going to possibly go for it, or I don't know if Wardlaw, like Franke, is adept at dropping into punt formation. Looks like he's going to try that. Yep. That one he low.
Oh.
Look at this one roll, but it's going to die
Armstrong.
short of the end zone. How do you like that? Wardlaw getting a lot of congrats on the sideline.
Didn't it look like the speed it was going at? It was definitely going into the end zone and just kind of died down. What a great punt.
He was worried about getting it blocked, so he went
hurried
awful
it,
fast with it and turned out pretty well. We do have running time here, so with this margin, we keep the clock moving even after that change of possessions, which I don't think anybody minds in a score like this.
And it's hard on both sides, I think, too, right? I mean, no one enjoys getting, down by 40 points. These kids don't enjoy it, and it's hard being the team that's up, too, right? That mix and match of who to play. And
Arnold's going to throw it deep downfield for Amos, and just deflected away by Caden Burgoyne.
Yeah, Burgoyne did a great job at timing that, getting his head around, seeing the ball, and then not jumping too quickly, able to bat it down. But again, strong arm by the young quarterback, and I love the call going for Amos, who's been their best player here today. And I like that too, because Arnold didn't hesitate. When you're in the end zone, you can't hesitate, especially with this pass rush. He got rid of it, and he really put a good throw.
Foster taking the handoff. Burgoyne coming up and run stop this time, and
good power run there.
Got over the 10. Give him a gain of 8 or 9.
This is a question, though. Let's say it's 4th in this down and distance. Do you go for it at at this juncture and where you're at? That'll be interesting. I would think you do.
I would say yes. What do you got to lose now? So 3rd and a yard after Foster did pick up 9 on that play, and he will pick up the first down here, I think.
He's going to be short.
Maybe not.
No, they're giving it to him. No.
Okay, they did, yeah.
God, that mark looked like it was a half a yard short.
So out to the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. New set of downs for the Orioles. Arnold under a rush, steps up. And nice little move there. Still alive to the outside, and then dragged down for the Falcons by Michael Funches.
I mean, that's a heck of an effort just to gain, what are they going to end up giving them?
About
5, 6, yeah. I mean, the pass rush was there. He eluded it, and then when he started coming back, had a great move. But just to get out of that, look at that right there, but then this was the move. Whoop.
Made 2 tacklers run into each other even.
And he's a big, strong kid, too. You see the ball came out. Clearly, he was down. He's going to only get better and better. As he gets older, gets more and more experience, too.
Takes the hand off. Arnold eluding the rusher. Now we'll dump it off. Amos with the catch. And then he'll pick up the first down out over the 30.
Did a great job just buying time. But then again, for a young quarterback, usually when they start running, it's to run. You could see he was scrambling, still had his eyes up the field, found Amos. Nice play.
And off here going to Helfman. Took a good hit. Nice tackle there by Funches.
They're like, we're tired of seeing you with all the good hits on defense. We're going to show you. Good run, though.
Did get 10 out of it.
Yep. Yeah, nice little momentum here offensively for the Orioles.
Helfman running it again, spun down. Paul Riggs. Had about 6 or so on that play. Oh, maybe not quite as much as I thought. Well, I'll give him 5.
Yeah, it looked like he was a yard or two beyond that.
Second and 5 here for the Orioles. We passed the halfway point as the clock continues to run here with this margin running time. Gonna throw it out there for Amos. Oh, he's going to come all the way back around the other way, and he's got some space.
Nice play.
And brought down.
Collar,
That's going to be a horse collar, I think. Burgoyne brought him down. And we'll tack on more.
And that's a great play, and that's why I wish we would have seen that earlier. You get him the ball, you can see he's just magical with the ball in his hands. And there was just nowhere to go on that side. And how about the vision here? And then you see guys downfield too starting to block for him. You see there definitely. It's hard. He's hard to bring down. He's not a tall guy, but he's a strong guy, and you got to really wrap him up and drive with power to get him on the ground.
The Armstrong 21. Foster a spin move.
Nice spin.
Inside the 15 now. Foster taking the handoff again and wrapped up.
Nice play.
Brought down by Xavier Robinson.
Yeah, also only a sophomore. He did a great job of just hanging on. He didn't have his full power on that tackle, but he held on. Kept him short of the first down.
Be 3rd down and a yard here for the Orioles. High snap, and Arnold, though, is going to pick up that first down.
Yeah, just more of that with him. You can see how big he is. Even if you hit him, his momentum is going to carry you forward. And when you only need a yard or two.
Be 1st and goal now for St. Louis Park as we're under 4 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Kept again by the quarterback Arnold, and he'll be down at about the 1, maybe the 2.
Again, it doesn't look overly fast, but just kind of slippery too and powerful. Like under center, probably expecting a quarterback sneak here.
Yep, that's exactly what we see, and he is in for the touchdown. Arnold will push it across from 2 yards out.
Remember, this drive started at their 2-yard line, right? So 98 yard. Heck of a drive.
So extra point try coming up for Jacob Berry, his second of the game. And the first one was blocked, but still made it through after landing on the crossbar, and this time drives it through. And unfortunately, that brings us back into non-running time as the margin below 35, which I've always felt like is kind of...
Yeah, he missed the extra point. It was wide right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He got good elevation on it, but missed it right. But yeah, Everett Arnold, I think, just showing some of what's to look forward to if you're a St. Louis Park fan. Good young athlete. Hasn't been frustrated, kept coming out and making play after play. That was a well-executed drive.
So 49-15. See if they'll go onside kick again here. They've done it a couple times.
Yep. Got to be ready for that. You know, and that's what, you know, Coach talked about too, is just being sharp, right? No matter who's in the game, being sharp, no penalties, no mistakes, no mental errors. Onside kick, being ready for it, because there's going to be a time, if you're going to make a run for a state championship, where these little intricate plays are going to determine a ball game.
Going to try and drop it into that second level, but handled by Francis. Spin move there, and he's wrapped up at the 46.
Yeah, only a sophomore, and it's a fun part when you're not used to getting the ball in your hands, making guys miss, and just for that split second, you think maybe I'm going to return this thing all the way, but nice return, good field position. This running time's supposed to be over because it's the lead under 35, but they are keeping the clock running.
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be or not, but Francis takes the handoff here, and a nice move there. Oof, and then Helfman pounds him to the ground. Got about 4 on that play.
Well, Helfman, I mean, not very big, especially for an inside linebacker, but when he gets his arms on you, you're probably not going anywhere. A good snap there, and a nice job, too, by Francis making the initial miss to get positive yards.
Come back to him here, and a good run.
Yep.
That'll be close to a first down. Looks like he might have it. Yep. Here's where, too, you know, you think like, well, the game's over, but all the coaches are watching who's looking like they're ready, who looks like they really want to play, and, you know, that
gives you the leg up in the offseason, right,
Yeah.
as the starter. So you're 100% right. Might not matter the outcome of the game, but a lot of these guys are it's an audition for them. Now, granted, they see them practice, they see them in JV, but when you're on the varsity field, what do you do?
Elfman wrapping up Francis, as that time quarterbacking Lincoln Hawes for the Falcons.
Hoffman might be going for 20 total tackles on the game today.
So Falcons will be at home for the section final, regardless of the outcome of the other semifinal between Washburn and Cooper. Everybody kind of expects it might be an all Robbinsdale district final again, which has become the norm. Falcons trying to use up as much time as they can, and they'll just take a knee here, and that will be the final play of the contest here, as Armstrong coming out and taking care of business. 21 points in the first quarter, 21 more in the second, and they roll to a 49-15 win over St. Louis Park to go to 9-0, and they will move into that Section 5 championship game.
Yeah, they did everything I think you want as a coach and as a fan. You're, heavily favored. You came out, your offense was sharp, gave up that kickoff return. So, things there that they can definitely improve on as they move forward. But defensively, they were great, and offensively, so potent, so many weapons. And they have as good a shot, I think, as anybody in Class 5A.
So we'll take a timeout and come back with our postgame here. The Falcons win it over St. Louis Park 49-15 here in Plymouth. We'll be right back.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Armstrong winning it big here over St. Louis Park 49-15 to advance to the Section 5 5A final. And Ryan is joined this time by some guys who make it happen up front.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Well, I'm with a different sort of group here tonight. Are you guys tired of the quarterback and running back getting all the attention for all their yards? I noticed tonight that a lot of times when Kevon was running, he didn't get touched till he was 5-6 yards down the field. What do you guys have to say about that? Who wants it?
Kevon's a smile that can run a mile. We have a lot of talent on this team, so once we all get going, we really get going, and it's a fun team we got here.
One of the things I always notice when we cover your games is the balance. You guys run really well. You also throw really effectively. Do you guys like to run the ball and pound it, or do you like pass blocking? What do you guys like?
We like running, and, Kevon, likes to get in the end zone, gets those yards, But, it's fun to help Dawson, too, get those passing yards. So, we like both.
Okay, so Kevon, I think, had 4 touchdowns. Maybe 5. No, his last one was 5th. So, he's had multiple games, 5 touchdowns. What does he do for you guys after games? Does he buy you dinner? Does he give you snacks? What does he do for you guys?
Yeah, he completely butchered it on the media the last week. But, yeah, he took us to, where was it again? Cowboy Jack's, not Texas Roadhouse. So he used his birthday money on us, fed us well, got us some wings.
And if you didn't know, Cowboy Jack's Tuesday's bucket deal,
All right.
Shout him out.
All right, last quick question. Next week, probably against Cooper, big rivalry. You guys did handle them early in the year. What do you have to do to win that game and make a run here in the state tournament?
We just got to lock in, take day by day, practice hard, take it like it's just another game, and then we know we can win.
Nice. Well, congrats on a dominant game. And unsung heroes here of the Armstrong football team, the offensive linemen. Good luck, guys, next week. All right.
Thank you very much, Ryan, and congratulations to those guys up front who did a heck of a job again, and to all the Falcons here as they win it. And again, we'll host the section final coming up this coming Friday, November 1st. That'll do it for today's game. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, your final score here is Armstrong 49 and St. Louis Park 15. So long from Armstrong.